hollow bone theory. Have you heard of that?
Like your bones don't have marrow. I think it's not a type of cancer.
You might not have heard about it because I just made it up. It's a new conspiracy theory that I'm coming up with. I'm starting to do my own conspiracy theories now.
That this is the time and place of like in the internet timeline to just create your own theories.
Why not at this point? I mean,
Pythagorean had one. Pythagorean.
Pythagoras. Pythagoras.
He had a theory.
He did. Was it ever proven?
I think so.
I failed geometry like 7 times. So
the a squared plus b squared equals c squared.
I thought that was Einstein.
No, that was E equals mc squared.
What about Times Square?
In New York City? Well, again,
is that a theory?
It's a theory to you because you've never been, so it doesn't technically exist to you.
It's like the Hollywood sign for you.
Again, I still don't like. Apparently, I think it's a whole like LA movie prop situation. Could you actually just say the Hollywood sign is a movie prop at this point?
I could say that. Hollywood sign is a movie prop.
There you go. Better?
It's on podcast, so it must be real.
But is it what cancer? You're the cancer doctor, man. As I'm calling you. Is it what type of cancer is where you have to get the bone marrow transplant? Is that leukemia?
Yes, it's like acute myeloid leukemia. Generally needs bone marrow transplant and or CAR T services. But anyways,
are you on the list?
Yes, I'm next.
What?
I'm on the list to give. Yeah, yes. Not to receive.
I am as well. I don't know. Like, is that still? I'm guessing it's still. I did it like a decade ago, so I don't know if it's probably still good, right?
Still good. I mean, like I don't know. You eat enough Taco Bell that it will preserve whatever you're trying to donate. I think.
I'm just pure preservatives.
I did have Taco Bell last night, by the way.
I had it for lunch.
Oh my god, I'm blowing it. Hold on. Wait for it. There we go. I didn't have the soundboard pulled up. That's my bad. Okay. Hollow bone theory. This is my new conspiracy that I have come up with. And I'm coming up with conspiracies that are counter to existing conspiracies. Okay. And so the hollow bone
reality.
You could say that. What is even reality, though, right? Reality is what we make it. So the hollow bone theory is in direct correlation with what we were talking about with like the GLP-1s and how the GLP-1s have become so just extraordinarily popular, right?
Yeah.
And it got me thinking, like, because one of the side effects is it like hollows out your bones, essentially, like osteoporosis, you know?
Oh, I wasn't sure if this is part of your theory or if this is actually.
No, that's real.
I do not know much about GLP-1s.
Yeah, that's real. But the conspiracy is the reason why so many people are on them is in direct battle with the conspiracy that the world is run by lizard people. Because what eats lizards? Birds. All we need now that everybody's on GLP-1s and is getting hollow bones, the next thing that's going to come down the medical pipeline is wing surgery. So we're already at the hollow bone stage. We just need the wing surgery, and then we can start eating the rich, literally. Eating the elite, which are the lizard people.
Do you want me to start poking holes in all of this?
Like in the bones? You don't even have to. That's what GLP-1s are for, baby.
But it's, I feel like the GLP-1s are made by the rich, so why would they want to get eaten?
Doesn't everyone eventually want to have an end goal?
That's their assisted Death by suicide.
Yeah, exactly.
Instead of going to like, what is it, Switzerland? Switzerland, I think, has it. One of those European countries you can go like in a tube and just have
Yeah.
the long nap.
Yeah, you don't even need to go in a tube though. You could just fly over there now. You
Yeah.
know?
Just
The only other thing is I don't think that insurance will cover the beak surgery. So I think for that you'd probably need to like fly to Turkey. Turkey's always got all the cool medical things, right? You can just fly to Turkey, get your beak surgery after you get your wing surgery, and then
did
the
you
full
mean
conversion.
to have that as a pun?
Of course. This is all thought out, babe. I told you this is a conspiracy theory that it's going to be proven right in the next, 75 to 100 years.
Why is it that people like after GLP-1s they're gonna have hollow bones? Like, why? What is the next trigger for them to get wing surgery?
What do you mean? What is the next trigger?
Like, why? Like, people of course take GLP-1s because
They want
to
hollow
lose
bones.
weight, I guess. But what? Like, okay, so now they're skinny, hollow bone people.
Mm-hmm.
What makes them want to get wings?
Every human wants to fly. That's why we created the airplane. We didn't have the hollow bones to support the ability to fly ourselves. So we had to create a mechanical, facade to do so. But now that's over.
How are you imagining this wing surgery to take place?
I've thought about this. Okay. Look at all the weight you're losing from GLP-1s. You got to get to skin removal surgery.
That's true.
It's called reduce, reuse, recycle, baby. Yeah. You cut off your tricep wings to build real wings. Although I guess if it's skin, it'd be more like floating. You'd have to go up there first and then float down, right?
You'd be more like a flying squirrel.
Okay.
Like a sugar glider. That's what they call it, right? Sugar.
Yeah.
So not like...
But no sugar. You're trying to cut that out, losing weight.
So everyone has to go jump off a mountain?
Yeah, or something high. I mean, an oak tree or.
But they can't, they just glide down. They can't go, like, there's no propulsion.
But I think if you flap hard enough, because now that you have hollow bones, you could get some air. It'd be like chickens at first. You know how they can get a little bit of air, and then after practicing.
They still can't go very far, though.
For now.
Then why would you get a beak? What's the purpose of a beak?
It's like an add-on, like a cosmetic add-on. Some people want to do like the full hybrid.
And then the fashion and magazines would be like, the media would make it so, the level of attractiveness is if you have a beak or not.
Yeah, and you could bling it out.
Bling beaks.
Yeah.
Beak bling.
Yeah. So it's just something that I think is coming down the pipeline here pretty soon. So just get ready. I know you're already thin, but you don't have hollow bones. So get on that quick. It's a eat or be eaten type of a world right now. And
say this is a fucking terrible theory.
That's what they all say until it starts happening. And then they go, you know what? I should have believed you.
There's some like conspiracy theories like, okay, there's enough of a truth, but like, I don't think GL1Ps cause enough to cause hollow bones.
They do. You would
die. You would die.
Yeah. But not before you eat the lizard people. And maybe the lizard people, because they're eating people to stay alive longer, by eating them, you stay alive longer. Maybe it's like a full cycle.
Do lizards have hollow bones? I don't know enough about lizards.
I don't think so. Otherwise, they could fly.
Yeah, but like they would scurry. Maybe
they're pretty quick.
I guess do dinosaurs? They don't have hollow bones, but they're supposed to be from birds, right? That's a thing.
That's true. But some dinosaurs could fly.
Yeah, pterodactyls. Why is pterodactyl spelled with a P?
It's the time period.
The pterodactyl.
The tarot time period.
Taro.
Ptero.
Yeah, but why is it again? Why is there a silent P?
Ask the British.
Hello,
They created
British.
language, right?
I don't know if they named pterodactyls.
Or was that Latin? What is Latin? Isn't it just Mexican?
Latin America. That is interesting. We do say Latin. Oh, kick my desk again. Yeah, Latin America. They don't speak Latin. They speak Spanish.
That's what I'm saying, dude. This is my brain is swimming with all of these conspiracies that don't add up. That's why I'm just creating my own stuff at this point, because everything's just made up when you think about it.
That's true. Like money, man.
Money, language.
Man, you know what's not made up, man? Mother Gaia.
Mother who?
Gaia.
Is that spelled with a P?
Because you can reach out and feel it, man.
Welcome back to Remain Rome Return, everybody. At this point, if you haven't liked, subscribed, followed yet, don't do so. It's only going to get worse from here, to be honest with you.
Or much better.
Or depending on, what you're looking for. This could be just what you're looking for, in which case, tune in for what we have coming up.
Then please do like, subscribe, follow,
share, listen. Mainly just listen, honestly, but you don't have to.
Play it on the background for your lonely goldfish. I don't know.
Yeah. And I do just want to stress again, I stressed this a couple of times on the last few episodes, but this is not a joke. This is a pod that is serious. We're a serious podcast. No jokes, no humor. Everything that we say is well thought out, researched, proven. So if you're looking for giggles, this probably isn't the place for you.
No. Especially if we have that one guy as a guest who reached out to us very recently on our email. I don't know how he got our email.
I don't know either. I mean, I guess we do post it everywhere. It's the longest email in history, so I feel like we do have to throw it out there every once in a while.
I feel though like he had to take some effort then to get that like email typed out correctly. Yeah. How many emails we probably have missed because the person just either gave up halfway through or put like romaine lettuce.
Romaine lettuce. My favorite part too is when we originally started building the email address, we submitted it first, remain Rome return podast.com, because you forgot the C. Then we had to recreate a new email with the podcast with the C.
I love though how I apparently had to put the word podcast at the end.
In case there was any confusion about what remain Rome return might be.
In case there was another. So we'd have to be like remain Rome return 2.
Yeah, correct.
Actually, that would have been a really good bit to do.
Yeah.
Would have been to put like a number.
This is the second iteration of this podcast.
Yes.
So should we shout this guy out? Because I was thoroughly impressed by his use of AI on his email. It was awesome.
Yeah, I find it funny how he like reached out to us to be like, hey, let me be on your podcast. And it was like, you have clearly don't know anything about our podcast.
And to be clear, I'm not even quite sure he was asking to be on the podcast. I think he was just sending like braggadocious emails to people being like, this is why people want me on. So it's from a guy named Rocky Haag.
Yeah.
And the subject of his email, just to capture, you got to hook people right from the beginning. And so his subject of his email to us is in all capitals, MAGA, MAGA 2.0 ? Period. That's the subject he sent to us.
It's like, Grandpa, who taught you how to get on the internet?
Yeah, seriously. And then the body of the email in giant, probably 33 Helvetica font in bold says, why podcasts invite Rocky Haag, an executive briefing for podcast hosts. And then he calls himself Samurai Rocky Boy for no reason. I don't know why, but he is not a samurai. He's also not Japanese in any sort of way.
Yeah.
He's
That
also
we
not a
know
boy.
of.
He's about 60 years old. So I'm confused
That we know
all
of.
around. Yeah, exactly. And then
Allegedly.
he goes in as if we asked, who is Rocky Haag? Because we got this email. I would like to know who this man is. Well, don't worry. He solved it for us. He went ahead and thought ahead and told us, well, Rocky Haag, known to many readers as Samurai Rocky Boy, of course. No, I mean, he's well known. You know, people know him as Samurai Rocky Boy.
Yeah.
That's almost as big of a mouthful as Remain, Rome, Return.
Samurai Rocky Boy.
He is a communication strategist, entrepreneur, political veteran, which is hilarious because I've never heard of him.
Also, Samurai Rocky Boy sounds like the worst SoundCloud rapper name. Samurai Rocky Boy presents.
That's a good bit. Whoa,
whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Hi-oh! That's how he ends every song. I didn't do it. He did it.
It's true. He did call himself Samurai. Do you think he like gave himself that nickname?
Probably he sneezes and it sounds like katsu. Anyways, this is a white man about 60.
Sounds delicious, by the way.
True. He's about 60 years old, if I had to guess, and he's a white man. But he does, according to him, he is a writer who interviews internationally span multiple. What? Oh, he's a writer whose interviews internationally span multiple disciplines rather than a single issue. Oh, well, that's good. He's not just singularly focused, which is impressive. As reflected in his conversations, he frames discussions around technology, leadership, economics, communication, faith, entrepreneurship, and public affairs. And you might be asking yourself, well, that's all nice and dandy, but what's different about
I'm going to go on a quick tangent here today about, I just thought about the faith got me. So, of course, I go running quite a bit, and they're on the bike trails around Lincoln. And like, there's this one like interchange section that has like people trying to hand out Bibles.
Mm-hmm.
And as I ran by, I'm like listening to music, and like they try to hand me one, I think. And like, I think like after reflecting on it, I said it too loud, but I go, nope. And then where they clearly jumped.
Yeah.
But like I just laughed so hard.
Oh no, that's part of the song. Sorry.
But then after I was like, oh, I should have really yelled like Allah Akbar or something.
Yeah. They're like, what are you listening to? You're like Rain in Blood by Slayer. Hail Satan.
I was listening to an audio book
by Slayer called Rain in Blood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, man, our songs just audio books with the background.
You could ask Rocky. He seems to be a writer. He probably knows.
That's true.
And so, anyway, so we know who Rocky is. We know who he is now. We didn't before his email, but I was always asking myself, who is Rocky Haag? I'd never heard of him, but he did cold send an email, and now I know who he is, which is great.
Well, you know, at first I was like, who the fuck is Rocky Haag? And then he said, you know, Samurai Rocky Boy. And I was like, you should have led with that.
Yeah, that
I know
clearly,
who that is.
Clearly, I know who that is. That you just lead with that instead of the MAGA subject.
MAGA 2.0.
Yeah. Yeah. Just put Samurai Rocky Boy and I'd be like, oh, right. Got it. And so, you know, we learned a lot about who he is and that's fantastic. But then I was asking myself, but how is that any different than anybody else in the world? Right. But let me tell you, this guy's good. He went ahead and he let us know ahead of time what makes Rocky different with a little title that says what makes Rocky different. And I just wanted to let people know how Samurai Rocky Boy Haag is different. He is, you know, unlike guests who speak with one specialty, Rocky frequently connects ideas across industries. Right? Across industries.
I love how
and think about it. He said faith across industries. He's just plugging away here. you know,
Acrostic,
acoustic, yeah,
autistic.
yeah. But his conversations move. They oscillate between leadership, AI, which he clearly used to write this, and I support that. That's great. Business, just business. You know, most people can't talk about business, but Rocky can. Communications, I don't know anything about that. Public policy, history, entrepreneurship, and personal development. But also, that's not enough. He wants to emphasize the relationship between them. All of it's connected, dude. I know you always put on a character like everything's connected, man. He is telling you that is true.
I love how this reads in like a LinkedIn profile by someone who just has like terrible takes on LinkedIn.
Oh, I'll be posting this so that you can all read along, because it's truly enlightening to know who this man is, and I love it. I just love learning about people that I didn't know before who
I think now that we've spent so time on this, we might have to have him on as a guest.
Let's do it. I'll reach out to him, because he could potentially talk about multiple things on podcasts. I was asking myself, like, man, he's so well versed in not just one specialty and multiple things.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, what would we even talk about? But again, this guy is so good. He did this for us. He went ahead and he said, here are some potential podcast topics that we could talk about. And I'm like, what? He's going to come on this podcast and I'm not even going to be able to ask him questions. He's going to already be answering questions before I can ask.
He's got the scripts written.
He's incredible. So some of the topics, he could talk about artificial intelligence. Everybody likes to talk about that now. You know, he wants to talk about how
you can use AI to write great emails to tell people that you want to be on their podcast
and who you are, right? Like, how do I use email to cold email any and all podcasts that I could possibly find the emails to and tell them who I am, dude? Like, this guy is on the cutting edge of this. And it's not just that. It's not just using AI. He also wants to talk about how you remain human while utilizing AI's revolution, right? Because being a human is just as important as using AI to send an email. And that's something that I would love to get into.
Yes.
You know, what about AI's effect on employment? Well, he's already answered that for us. How about communication? That's a topic everybody likes to talk about communication on a podcast. Yeah. You know, persuasion, storytelling. We don't know anything about those two things. I mean, that's not what this podcast is about.
No. But
this podcast is about leadership. And I think that's why it would be great to have him on.
He could, it sounds like he could teach us how to be alphas.
He could teach us how to be entrepreneurs, alphas. He could teach us about capitalism 2.0. I bet you didn't even know there was a second one.
What happened to the first?
We don't talk about that anymore. We've evolved. We don't talk about MAGA 1.0. We only talk about MAGA 2.0, just like capitalism. It's capitalism 2.0. The first one is dead and gone. Buried.
Okay. I didn't know. I didn't get the memo. I apologize.
So, well, this is why we need him. This is why we need him on this podcast.
Samurai Rocky boy.
He's the one. Healthcare innovation, digital health, entrepreneurship within healthcare. There's not enough of that. There's nowhere near enough making money off of healthcare going on.
No, the people aren't paying enough for the healthcare.
No, you got to bleed them dry.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
and then charge their family for the corpse.
Yeah, of course. This is what we do, and of course, the final and most important thing that he could bring to this podcast that we're desperate for is finally discussing MAGA 2.0 and what it is. And, you know, he just wants to let you know that rather than treating it solely as an election slogan, he wants to describe MAGA 2.0 as a broader framework.
Is it like Revenge of the Sith, MAGA
Well,
2.0.
what it is, let me tell you, what it is if you will kindly remind yourself of what he was talking about earlier in his email of all of these things being interconnected.
Yes.
Well, that's what he would like to tell you, is that MAGA 2.0 is a broader framework that involves things like entrepreneurship, communication, business, community. This characterization reflects his own perspective expressed during an interview. And I just think, man,
I
what a
can
good guy.
really tell that this guy definitely enjoys marginalized groups. Like he seems very pro-immigrant,
Yeah.
pro-trans rights, you know.
As long as they're entrepreneurs
Yeah.
and they
Could you say
communicate.
almost every immigrant's trying to be an entrepreneur? They're just trying to get a better life?
In the grand scheme of things, you know. But are they doing it the right way? That's what he wants to offer, you know.
Okay.
And you may be asking yourself, like, if he comes on, what kind of interview is it going to be, right?
So if we interview him, essentially, Samurai Rocky Boy is going to teach immigrants how to be entrepreneurs.
Well, it doesn't seem like he's going to be teaching immigrants much of anything. I think he would be teaching us.
Oh, for us to be able to teach immigrants.
For us to be able to do that. Okay. It's like a multi-level situation.
Okay. And then like we would charge a fee to the immigrants, and then we would have to pay Samurai Rocky Boy a percentage of that fee.
Yeah, like 100% probably.
And then the immigrants would have to go find other immigrants and charge them a fee to give the new immigrants would give the old immigrants money. The old immigrants would give us money, and then we would give it to Samurai Rocky Boy,
who then gives it to ICE. Exactly. And so it's, you know, multi-level here. And that's, it's something that we could learn a lot about on this program that we run here called Remain, Roam, Return.
Yeah.
He would like to focus heavily on the return aspect of the immigration policy. And I think there's not enough of that going on.
Yeah.
And so you might be asking yourself, well, Damien and Christian, if you bring him on, what is his interview style? What can he bring as far as energy goes? Well, first of all, high energy, the highest.
How is his Wi-Fi connection? Does it mention that at all?
I think it's more about ours than his. To be honest.
Oh, okay.
You know, I think he's got it all figured out. He's an entrepreneur, after all. You need a strong Wi-Fi signal to be an entrepreneur, but he's going to bring the highest of energies.
Okay.
He's going to bring the longest of format. I mean, we're talking 6-7 hours. Hopefully, if all goes well, like we're talking long form, like
long form.
4 hours is short compared to this guy, you know?
Okay.
He's story driven. And let me tell you, every story definitely is going to have a point. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
You know, future focus. He's really focused on the future.
So
you know,
he's a sci-fi writer.
Correct. And then he likes to interact with the audience. And that, I think, is what's going to tamp his energy down when he realizes there isn't an audience here on the Triple R podcast.
So it sounds more of like he live stream versus a podcast. He's worried about audiences.
Maybe, but he's talking about being a guest. So I think he's used to having an audience for his show and is trying to dive into other people's podcasts. And I just don't know that he knows that not everybody has a live audience like he does.
Yeah. We're not Maury Povich. Like
we're not.
We wish we could have that kind of audience.
We wish you a Merry Christmas, and he wants to talk about
and a Happy
New
Year.
Yeah, but there's none of this Happy Holidays bullshit.
Nope.
You know?
No Starbucks red cups.
No. None of that. But you may be asking yourself, like, man, okay, so we finally get him booked. He's finally coming on. We have, you know, we plugged everything into AI that we want to ask him because we can't think of topics, right? We don't know. No. He's just too broad of a guy. we have to ask AI, what do we talk to the well-known, well-versed Rocky samurai boy? What do we talk about? How do I introduce this guy to my audience, which of there is none? Well, don't worry about that. Rocky Boy has that covered too.
Okay.
He has an introduction that we can read for him on his behalf already.
Do we give a little teaser to listeners?
Don't worry, we don't even need a teaser. It's only 60 seconds.
Okay.
If you can't tune in for 60 seconds, you're not going to like him as a guest because he's long form. 60 seconds is 1% of a podcast episode with him. Shall I?
Yeah.
This is what he graciously wrote for us to introduce him with. Today's guest is Rocky Haag, also known as Samurai Rocky Boy, a communication strategist, entrepreneur, and author whose work explores artificial intelligence, leadership, entrepreneurship, communication, healthcare, like I said, long form here, healthcare innovation, education, and the future of work. Rather than viewing these topics in isolation, Rocky connects them into a broader conversation about how people and organizations can adapt to rapid technological and social change. Whether discussing business strategy, history, leadership, or AI, his emphasis is on building relationships, creating value, and preparing for what's next. This guy has done it all.
He has. I think we will have to reach out to him. Our listeners are demanding it.
And we didn't even know that our guest needed this, but he knew. And he took the initiative to reach out and say, this is me. This is what you need to do.
Woo!
Which, ironically, is the theme song of Wagovi.
Woo!
So, without further ado, please welcome